Now, before we get started, I would really love it if you hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you can get the latest content from the YouTube channel, The Last Rewind. And don't be shy about leaving your comments at the bottom of the page because you are the sole reason why this channel will be successful. Thank you. All right, welcome to The Last Rewind, and we are here for another reaction video, one from the 90s. I was talking to you the other day. I said, man, we got to get a video for the ladies. We don't have a lot of video for the ladies, so we don't want to, disrespect them and not do anything that they may relate to a little bit better than us. I don't want to say the subject matter is relatable to us because the person we're going to be talking about is very angry. She's very angry at a guy in this video. I wonder if people can figure out just by the description, who could we be talking about? A song by a woman, sung by a woman. And she's very angry at this person, this guy in the song. I bet you a lot of people are already figuring it out just by listening to the description.
Yeah.
What I'm talking about
is
Alanis Morissette, You Oughta Know, from 1995. And where were you, Tremaine, when you first heard this song, if you can remember that? A long time ago.
I definitely didn't hear it in 95, but I've heard it just throughout, television watching and music countdown shows, things of that nature. My wife is a huge fan of this song and of Alanis Morissette. So I got familiar with the backstory of the song once I was married and once my wife would listen to it because she was a huge fan of this artist, of Alanis Morissette in general. So I wasn't too 95. I wasn't Alanis Morissette wasn't on my list of people I'm listening to. But as I grew older, I became familiar with this particular song and her as an artist. So great song, but there's a lot, like you said, a lot of anger in the delivery of this song.
Yeah.
Is she screaming or singing? I don't know, but you feel it. You feel it when you hear
it. Yeah, you definitely feel it, and almost like she's what's the word I want to look at? It's almost like she's neutering the guy. By the way, by how she sings these lyrics, it's almost like she's neutering the guy. I almost felt like she was neutering me the way she was singing this song. But I really, respect all around given. I really love the song. It doesn't have to be for my audience, but you can still appreciate the artistry that's brought in by her. So got no beef with it, man. I've listened to this song a lot of times. Matter of fact, don't judge me, but I have sang the song a lot. I've never done karaoke, but I've sung it in the car before.
I've heard it. It's a karaoke bop. And again, going back to my wife, who's heavy in karaoke. I mean, we was on a cruise ship and this woman won a karaoke contest. And throughout my going to these karaoke places with my wife, I've heard it on repeat multiple times. Multiple people sung it within the same setting. Yeah, so it's definitely a karaoke bop.
Yeah, I've sung it just just to be funny. Just come a guy singing a song. Of course, there's some parts I kind of skipped out because okay, I can't say that part because well, we'll see when we play the song. All right. So without further ado, and we'll talk about some extra stuff after the song goes off, but let's go ahead and play the video. And Alanis Morissette, You Oughta Know.
I want you to know that I'm happy for you. I wish nothing but the best for you both. I know the version of me, is she perverted like me?
Definitely a great song.
You're not. Oh, wow.
I gotta admit, I haven't seen the video that many times, so the reaction to the video is definitely genuine. I've heard the song a lot of times. Be in the desert.
Yeah. Maybe that explains how she feels. She feels deserted and she's in the middle of a desert.
So every morning, I said I don't have much familiarity with the song in '95. I lied. Every morning, I remember my old man used to take my sister and I to school. We used to listen to this radio station in North Carolina, Q98. It may be outside North Carolina too, but I remember this song playing when we would go to school in the morning.
Have to carry that anger with you to class, or have some anger given to you from some girl listening to the song in the morning. Like, I ain't do it to you. She's going to scratch up his car. She's going to kill his car. She's going to kill his dog. He's mad.
The desert was a popular place for '90s music videos.
R. Kelly, right?
R. Kelly, Michael Jackson, Janet Jackson.
Yeah, yep.
This would make a great wrestling theme for someone. I don't know who, but it feels like it can be a great wrestling theme.
For you saying for a woman to come through or a guy?
Both, depending on the wrestler, maybe the storyline.
I don't know about that part where she's talking about going down on him in the theater. I don't know if that's going to fit his wrestling persona. Going down on something. The male wrestler went down on him in the theater? What's going on here? She's going to be in his dreams. Like a voodoo doll.
Mm-hmm.
Stabbing a voodoo doll. Poor Uncle Joey.
I actually heard that he just he was out of remission from cancer recently.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like maybe last week I read that. But she hated that fool.
As angry as she was in this song, she probably gave it to him.
You wouldn't think like the goofy Dave Coulier, who played with the puppet on the show and had this lovable comedy routine. You wouldn't think this song would be about him.
Well, that's just TV though, because that's just the same thing people were saying about Danny Terry. What was his name? Danny. Well, I mean his character name, but yeah,
Danny Tanner. Yeah.
Danny Tanner. Okay, so Bob Saget was a very dirty comedian in real life.
Yeah.
I don't know about Coulier. I don't think I've never heard his stand-up comedy or whatever act outside.
He was more of an impressionist. I've heard him impersonate, and he did a great Richard Pryor.
I have heard that. So yeah, he did do a good Richard Pryor, but the styles, to your point, yeah, he wasn't like a dirty comedian as far as I can remember from anything I've heard. I've heard small snippets, but I've never heard a full act. But Bob Saget, completely opposite, and I didn't know that Bob Saget until years later after the show had went off. I did not know he did that kind of comedy, so was very shocked. And remember, I saw him in that Dave Chappelle movie. That was kind of tribute to not How High. What was the movie with Jim Brewer where he was getting high? Half baked. Yeah. And Bob Saget was in that movie. He had a couple dirty jokes or whatever in that movie. And I was like, nah, Bob Saget is the guy that took care of the Olsen twins, not that guy. I wouldn't expect to see that.
Oh yeah. He was known as a dirty stand-up comic. I think he did a couple things with Rodney Dangerfield, if memory serves correct. And if you know Rodney Dangerfield's stand-up comedy, it was very raunchy, very funny. But
yeah,
going back to this song, I always loved this song. I always loved the energy she presented in this song, the anger. Again, the video is fleeting. This probably is the third time I've ever seen the video. I can't remember. I don't have much recollection from the video, but the song I heard in rotation a lot. And obviously the song got more popular once it became known who it was about. Yeah. Obviously the song got more popular then, but overall, great artist in Alanis Morissette. It's not an artist on repeat in my house, but my wife has a case full of CDs that no one bothers anymore, and she definitely has. I definitely know of the Alanis Morissette CD up in there.
Well, no, I can't say I've only listened 3 times. I can't even say I've listened to this song 50 times. I've listened to it quite a bit. I it don't have to be for me, but I can appreciate the artistry. Just like poetry, some poems may not be for me. It could be just straight for women, but I can appreciate the artistry. I can understand, like, okay, I can feel where you're coming from with this, even though this is not about me.
Yeah.
I very much, I know the album. I've listened to the album quite a few times.
That makes for a great artist when the artist can, whether it's music, movie, poetry, as you stated, if the artist can do something where their standard hardcore fan, the non-standard hardcore fan is effective and they can be moved, that makes for a great artist. And again, she's a great artist. Don't really know what much she's doing right now. I know she still sings.
Yeah.
But overall, I always love this song. And the artistry of it, it's clever. It was always clever, even before we knew who it was about. It was always a clever song.
Well, but here's the thing, though. She's never said that this song is about her. Joey, David Coyer, or Coyer, or however you say his name, he listened to the song on the radio, and he said, certain things about this song sounds like it could be about me. And, he called her up, and, he said they're good friends. And he's kind of being coy about if she said, I guess, if it's about him. But she's in an interview said it's not about anybody specifically. And she just kind of leaves it up to interpretation. And she has no intention to ever tell who's the song about. And he's asked her, what do you want me to tell people when they ask me, reporters? What do you want me to tell them when they ask me, is this song about me? She said, well, tell them whatever you want.
Well, that's the mystery surrounding the song. That's why here we are talking about it right now. That's the overall, the what if surrounding the song. Is it about him? Is it not about him? It leaves more, talk around the music. But in addition to it being a great song, now you got a great story with the song. So, it's about him, but it's about him. She's not gonna say it's about him because now the mystery's up. So, but it's
so let's see. This song came out in 95. They dated, they said, for a time in 92. Let's see, she would have been 17 or 18. He would have been about 32 or 33. Yeah, that's a big age difference.
So he was already on the show. I think in 92, Full House was pretty much in high gear.
Right. And it said 2008. Let's see, he did an interview, David. He claimed the song was about their rocky relationship. He said when he first heard the track, he was driving. He was like, wow, this girl is angry. Then he said, oh man, I think it's Alanis. I listened to the song over and over again. And I said, I think I really hurt this person.
Yeah.
You think a little bit? And at the same time, the press was calling saying, "Do you want to comment on the song?" He said, "I called her. I said, hi. What do you want me to say?" She said, "You can say whatever you want." We saw each other. We hung out for an entire day, and it was beautiful. It's one of those things where it was kind of like, we're good. Clear later said that he only admitted to being the subject of the song to placate reporters who kept asking him about it. In 2014, he told BuzzFeed, "The guy in that song, he's a real a-hole, so I don't want to be that guy." And of course, who would want to be?
It's gonna be one of those music mysteries, like in the hip hop and R&B world. One of the music mysteries is in the Lloyd song, "You." Is it 5-2 or fine 2? It's gonna be one of those. It's gonna be one of those music mysteries that you will never get the answer, but it's always just good to talk about.
I think it's good to leave it up there. Let people speculate.
That part, yes, absolutely. Let them speculate. Obviously, Alanis Morissette knows the answer. She's never going to give the answer, and she, like you said, she's just going to let a lot of people speculate because it brings history and a backstory to what's already a great song.
Yeah. Well, I'll say one thing too. She didn't live on this hill. What I mean by this is she didn't let this be her entire career. She didn't like make a bunch of songs, revenge songs, like a Taylor Swift, and say, "Oh, what's the next revenge song coming out on the next album?" She moved on from that. She did a variations of different songs, very creative.
She did that once. She did that song, "I'm a bitch."
No, that's not her.
That's not her? Okay.
No, that lady passed a couple years ago. I think it was Meredith Evans. I think I might have her name wrong, but I know who you're talking about. Right. But no, that's not her.
Okay, but this song it's
Meredith Brooks. That was Meredith Brooks.
Okay.
Yeah.
I get them confused because my wife liked that song as well, but
your wife is angry. What's going on?
When she used to put that song on, and that song is like, "I'm a bitch, I'm a mother, I'm a sinner, I'm a lover." Like, God,
I'm a sinner, I'm a saint. Do not feel ashamed.
I remember it being in the movie "What Women Want" with Mel Gibson when he got struck down. But going back to this one, awesome song. She's an awesome artist too. But like you said, doesn't have to be my cup of tea to appreciate the artistry.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what? I'm gonna name one thing that I used to get wrong about the song with my little mind. The part where she said, "I'm here to remind you of the mess you left when I went away. It's not fair to remind me of the cross I bear that you gave to me." You ought to know. I used to think, and it didn't make no sense to me then, but I used to thought she was saying cross-eyed bear that you gave me. I was like, the whole song makes sense, but this is me like 15 or something. I'm like, what is she talking? Cross-eyed bear? Is that a euphemism for something? And I didn't look at the lyrics at the time. I was like, I don't know what this means. What does cross-eyed bear got to do with anything? And I'm out there trying to think in depthly. Cross-eyed bear. What is that?
That happens in lyrics when you mishear it, and now you try to analyze what you misheard to relate it to the rest of the song. It happens all the time.
Have you dealt with this anger before? Just not in a song, but in just a real life situation, or had a letter written to you, maybe explaining their feelings in this kind of situation?
No, the closest is there was one chick in high school. She was like gave stalker vibes, but her energy kind of gave off the energy of the song by her stalking. And I'm not gonna say names or anything, but she gave off stalker vibes. I'll say that.
Okay, how about this then? Let's reverse it. Have you ever had that kind of energy? Not the same lyrics, but the same energy that she displays in this song in your young life to a chick in that regards?
No, nah, no. What about you? No, I can emphatically say that. I no.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah.
Nah.
Young self, young me, yeah. I'm sure in high school, 20-year-old me, yeah. I'm sure I've had this feeling. Not like wishing death on him, but that energy that she got, yeah.
I've definitely been like heartbroken to the point where I didn't want to be dumped. But once I was dumped, I
hope you, if someone scratch you down, if I scratch somebody down their back, I hope you feel it. I hope you feel it. That kind of feeling. Yeah, that type of feeling. Yeah, I've had that before.
The closest I got dumped by someone in high school, and it was like I didn't want her to get with someone else and be happy throughout our little high school days because I got to go to school and see it.
Yeah,
that may be the closest, but and that was about it right there. But I never to the point where I wanted the worst for them. I just kind of wanted her to feel how I was feeling at the time.
Yeah.
If that's the case, then yes.
Okay. Yeah, maybe not. You're hoping that, death on them or that they get in a car accident. Not that far, but maybe you made a voodoo doll out of them or something. Okay, that's too far.
I never would have done any of that, but like one chick, yeah, she broke my heart. She broke my little high school heart, and she goes on and does her thing, and I got to see her and her new cat at school every day, and I wanted her to be just as miserable as I was. So in that case, yes.
Yeah. Then you put on the Alanis Morissette song in the car, and he was like, "Yeah, I hope she feels the same thing Alanis is feeling for Uncle Joey."
Nah, I think I was on Jay-Z song cry.
Okay. Like, what was that, 2001?
I think I was a more Jay-Z song cry type cat when things didn't go my way in a relationship. And, you got to really break down song cry to find out who's in the wrong. Actually, no, it's Jay-Z. But.
All right. Well, okay, that's been our review of Alanis Morissette. You ought to know. And if you got any comments to say about this particular reaction, please leave them at the bottom. And we will do some more reviews, some more music reactions coming soon. And eventually we'll react to something else, maybe a movie or a TV show. But from now, it's be me, Big Red, and Tremaine. And glad you guys came on. You guys have a good day and enjoy. Well, it's going to be up after the Super Bowl, but whatever. Enjoy the Super Bowl. Hope your team wins or loses, whatever happens. But
my team ain't in it. You can see the team not in it.
Yeah, definitely our team is never in it. It's never in it. It ain't been in it for almost 3 decades. We don't need to have that mentioned. All right. Thanks for now I feel like Alanis Morissette again. I feel like Alanis Morissette towards Jerry Jones now that you mentioned that.
There you go. That's a good way to put it. There you go. You make a diss. There you go. If there's any, and in '95 too, that was the last year. So if there's any relationship,
good point out on that.
I wanna relate that song too. There it is.
We should do a remix or do a remix on that. Okay, I might make some lyrics to that. All right, that's a good point out there. I didn't even think about it. 95. Okay. Wow, I'm writing the lyrics to this new song. You guys have a good day. We'll see you on the next Last Rewind.
Peace.
Peace.